Hey gamers, this is Liz Davidson from Beyond Solitaire, and I'm super happy to be here with Fagner Silva. He is a game designer, he is a Zenobia Award finalist, and he's here to talk to us about House of Wisdom, which is the game that he answered. How you doing today, Fagner?
Hi, I'm Finalists. Very glad to be here and talk to you about my game.
Yeah, I'm super happy to hear about it. So for people who have not been following Zenobia, what's like the basic rundown of House of Wisdom? What's it about? What are you doing in it?
Okay, so House of Wisdom is a competitive strategic game about scientific translation during the golden age of Islam. So in the game, each player represents a family that is a patron of art and science and travel around the territory to collect new books, to recruit new scholars, and then to translate and publish these books on House of Wisdom in Baghdad.
Oh, that's awesome. How did you get interested in that particular topic?
It was by chance. I am very fan of science, so I watch a lot of YouTube channels about science. And in 2019 and 2019, I watched a video on SciShow channel about our Khwarizmi and all his work with math and a lot of things in math is named before him. And when I watch this video, I get like a very excited and passionate about this team, and I start to research, read some books, and look for other videos. And when I entered this topic, I was even for the first time thinking, "Oh, this will make a very good game."
Oh, that's really awesome. So were you designing games before the Zenobia Award, or is House of Wisdom your first?
Yeah, I have a few experiences designing tabletop RPGs here in Brazil for a few contests, like some game jams that happens during the carnival a few years ago, and but never published anything. I was playtesting a lot of games, so I meet and know a lot of Brazilian game designers, but was my first try in designing and trying to publish something.
Oh, that's really cool. So you said you were interested in tabletop RPGs before. How was that experience versus making like a tabletop game that's not an RPG?
Oh yeah, that's very interesting because I still on designing tabletop RPGs. I still playing tabletop RPGs. I really like this kind of game, but it's so different because it's so open ended, and each group can just forget their rules and make their own. So it's very different. So I think that designing tabletop RPGs, you are more designing vibes and intentions than exactly a game. But for board games, no, you have to design the system and how each part interacts. So I think that's maybe the different, like RPGs are more a toolbox than properly a game, more a game design toolbox with intentions and vibes. And board games are a closed system with determined rules and scoring.
So on that note, what kind of mechanisms did you choose for House of Wisdom, and why did you choose them?
Yeah. The first thing that I think about was I want people to be able to study other players' books. So I think that I need some positive interaction for the first design. And that was the first mechanic that I think about. So on my game, you have bookshelves. So each translated book will be published in this bookshelf, and each player put your authorship mark. You put your disc with your color to everyone know that okay, I translated this one, but other players can learn from this book, so they can interact. So this is the first thing that I think for the game, and after that I think that will be you the scholars can be your hand, your book can be cards. So I think that you use cards to take actions, and each new scholar you recruit, you'll be a new card on your hand and a new action you can do for the next rounds. So in this game, you're building your deck of cards, but it's a very small deck, up to 10 cards. You start with 3 and can go up to 10. And we move along the so we have a point to point movements on the board. You collect things, but it's not a pick up and deliver. You just collect and go right to you. You don't have to pick from one place and then bring to other one. And so it's a very simple car loop for this game with only 4 actions. But the core of the game is translation and studying other people's book.
That sounds like a very good time, actually. And then how has the game changed from when you first started drafting it throughout the Zenobia process?
Oh yeah, it changed a lot. Yeah, on the first try, like the game has a lot of layers and mechanisms and interactions. It was it was a messy. So each playtest, each iteration, I was taking things off instead of putting. So I think that the game in this moment he has the core of his mechanics functioning well. The playtest that I did with different people, the game worked. So I think that now I will have to start the part to put new things on top just to make like little spice here and there to give a different flavor for the game. But I think that the game changed a lot. Like on the beginning, your actions are counted using counters. You have cubes to counter your actions. You have uh, you have you still you translating books are always part of my game, but in the previous versions you have like, oh, you can translate, you can donate to help build a university or something like that. So there are a lot of things to extra resources, extra components, but I stripped everything off, I cut everything off and just let the core of translating and studying.
I like it. And then, so your final draft is due in a matter of days. Um,
Yeah.
so, how are you doing in that final stretch? What kind of last minute changes are happening?
Yeah, I won't make any big changes right now because I have just a few days to submit the game, and I don't want to submit a version that I didn't test. So I will probably add flavor content, like put the scholars' names on a few cards and name something, some components, just to make more clear exactly when the theme of the game and when the history will appear. And I make a lot of adjustments on the whole book because the whole book was very difficult to understand. So on the whole book I make a lot of changes, but the game is almost the same from the previous phase with just this cleanup on whole book. I probably will make some adjustments on the cards, like on the graphic design of the cards, just make easier to use and play. But that's it.
That sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm, what are some of the most interesting things that you learned while you were researching for the game? So you're mentioning like putting scholars' names, putting flavor. Like what are some interesting things that you've learned throughout the process?
Yeah, I think that the one of the most amazing discoveries that I made the researching for the game was looking to the for these different regions and learning that scholars from different origins, from different religions are working together and collaborating. We are living in a time that there's a lot of crisis and conflicts all around the world. So it's for me it's very films with hope to see that, okay, we are able to live in peace and work together and build amazing things that benefits all of us. So it's a very amazing to me to discover that like on Cordoba, on our nowadays on Spain, you had like Muslim scholars, Jewish scholars, Christian scholars working together on translations, working side by side. And so this is very amazing, and I hope that we achieve this again, and we can again work together to build things that benefit all of us.
I like it. Is there anything that you learned that you really wanted to put in your game, but it just didn't work with the mechanisms?
Yeah, that's one thing that, yeah, I tried a lot of ways and never worked very well, because these scholars, they translate a lot of books, but they write their own books, so they write original books. And I try a lot of times to put this. Okay, will use a different mechanic for this special new books, but didn't work. So I used the same mechanic, like the tiles for the books, and didn't work too. So on this prototype version for the contest, I get rid of this outer books because I don't find a way to put it. I maybe will try again. I don't know, because it's very important, because I have a lot of books that influence Europe and the rest of the world. Like we have a scientist that wrote about the scientific method and how optics and our eye work and light works 300 years before Newton. So, oh, I need to have this on my game, but I don't find a way to put it. So for now, it's off.
Yeah, maybe. All right, so I have a different line of questioning for you. So you mentioned right before we got started that you have just moved to Amsterdam to do a master's degree in art. What kind of artist are you?
Yeah, I am a multi artist. I have degrees and on movie making and writing, in creative writing. So I write a lot. I am a photographer. I make movies. I am editor too, and I I'm learning again to draw and paint, because I studied this on when I was younger, like 20 years ago. So I'm trying to mix all of that, and I think that design games kind of need you to be a multi artist, because you need to know a lot of things, and you have to know how to design systems and how to translate ideas to visual and concrete things. So you need to be able to make. You can only be like just a concept guy, just a guy that just think about something. No, you have to build something. So I think that without planning, all my formation put me in this path, and I'm trying on my master degree to create a experience that are related to games and fun, and how this can help us to communicate better, work better together.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. I mean, you can express yourself in so many ways. You have a lot of choices. You could write something, you could make a film, and it sounds like you can also draw and paint. So, why games? Like, what is it about games that makes you choose them as a way to communicate?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I always play. Like I play with my parents when I was a child. I play with my friends, with my siblings. So I always playing, and I think playing was the activity that I spent more time along my life. And I think that's it. I really like play because they are very immersive, and at the same time are so real, because you can see the interactions and how the system works. And I think that games can be metaphors for our society. Okay, oh, we are playing this game about translating books, but maybe we are talking about collaboration and how we can end intolerance and prejudice. So I think that games can be very interesting to try and experiment new things in a very secure way. Like, oh, this is a safe space. You can try new things here. You can try new ways of thinking, new ways of doing, but it's just a game.
So, when you were working on House of Wisdom, how what kinds of choices did you make to make sure that players were able to I mean, they're clearly competing, right? They wanna get the most stuff in the library. But how did you bring out that cooperative working together aspect so that they would still feel it?
Yeah, that's very yeah, I think a lot of this and trying to figure out ways of players having better interactions. And the first one of the first drives that I have with this game was that if players will interact, the interaction will always be positive. So no negative interactions. So you can't burn anyone's book, you can't steal anyone's book, you can like steal anyone's scholar. So this was one of my first drives. And but it was very hard to design different positive interactions for this game. So I keep it just the studying others people books. So when you study one other person's book, you learn from it, and the author of the translation receives something in back in return. He scored a little points that can help him on the future, and that's it. I but it's a very there's a very interesting topic that I was struggling about on how to make interactions that make sense for this historical period, and how can I emphasize this part of scientific collaboration without entering the because as a human history we have a lot of wars in this period, we have colonialism, so we have a lot of conflicts too happen during this golden age. But my focus was okay, how these scientists collaborate with which one.
I like it. I like it. And then do you see yourself continuing to design board games after this one? It sounds like you do.
Oh yeah, I want to be a full-time game designer, so I work on it, like designing other games, working with other designers. So yeah, I want to spend all my time working on games. I have a lot of ideas, I have a lot of notes on my Google Drive, on my notebook. So yeah.
That's fantastic. And so I'm very excited to play your game. But people who make games usually play them too. So what have you been playing recently that really excites you?
Yeah, I was on the SPL in Essen
So
past
jealous.
weekend. So yeah, my first time on SPL. So I play a lot of things there. I played the new version of Evolution. It's called Nature now, and I was already like the game, but the new version it's cleaner, faster, simpler, and funnier. So that's amazing. I play a lot of small games, and so I play Pixies. I play I forget a lot of names, but I'm very into card games. Always love card games. I play a lot of card games with my parents and siblings, so I always up to play a card game. So I played all the ones that I liked, but there's like Scout and Bonanza, and this year and the next year will be a lot of games that will be published with teams related to House of Wisdom. So I play a prototype of Fabio Lupiano game called Baghdad. That is about the Baghdad, the most important city during the Golden Age. So it's a game that's a related team that has with the my game. So it was very interesting to play and test this game on this period.
Yeah, I can see that. So it sounds like you've got a great gaming life. And then if people want to follow your work, it sounds like you do a lot of artistic work. So maybe there's even more than just games online. Where can you be found?
Yeah, I use Instagram to update all my work about art and games, mostly games. And my Instagram is fl dot da dot silva, fl da silva.
Excellent. I'll make sure that gets into the show notes. Fighter, thank you so much for coming on and talking to me. This is awesome. I'm really looking forward to your game. I love the topic and congratulations on making it this far. I hope we go further.
Thank you, Liz. I'm very glad to be on one of the finalists. For me, it's a very big accomplishment. I'm very grateful for all the help I'm gaining during the contest. And thank you for calling me, and it was amazing time talking to you. I hope you can play my game and we can play together one time.
Definitely. We should definitely try to make it work. All right, everybody out there. If you're looking for me online, I'm everywhere as Beyond Solitaire. Thank you so much again, Fagner, and everybody else. Please like, subscribe, comment, ask questions, and most of all, happy gaming.